Jussie Smollett, star of Empire, a hit show that's on Fox, along with Terrence Howard, man, and Taraji P. Henson, has made headlines for the wrong reasons. Let's say it that way. But anything done in the dark comes to light. Now, the link for this article will be in the description. Jussie Smollett speaks. Sources clarify stories about phone MAGA rope. So, he finally breaks his silence about the attack, saying that he's okay. His body is strong, but his soul is stronger. And he wanted to express his thanks, saying thank you. He's outpouring for the people that's outpouring their love and support for him. And the investigation is still going on. But here's what they say, what they said happened. They're saying that he was attacked by some men, and these men wore MAGA hats, which stands for Make America Great Again, obviously stating that they're Trump supporters. And it says they scream MAGA country. And the last point, there are reports that Jussie had the rope around his neck long after the incident when he was being treated at the hospital. We're told that that is not the case. He did have the rope around his neck when the cops arrived at his building 42 minutes after the incident. The sources say he kept it there to preserve the evidence. This proves the most important thing of all, that a lot of you that's watching this video and a lot of people that will Google this, a lot of people that hear about this are afraid to say, but I'm going to say it. Racism still exists until this day. And I'll tell you why. Now, we can go all the way back to the days of slavery. We shall overcome, all the way up to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. There are people from those generations that never got over black people, the hatred for black people, because they grew up around it. They're not used to black people. They never will give us a chance in this world to live as a common folk. And that being said, because in their world, in their mind, we are nothing more than trash or garbage, or just something God wasted his time on in a racist white man mind. And a lot of them spew this over to their kids and their grandkids, and it poisons their mind, especially the Klan mentality. The KKK mentality goes down deeper and deeper and deeper. Their generation will be a Klan, the generation after that. So everybody in that family, same goes for the Aryan Brotherhood. Because, do you know why I know this? Because the same thing goes on with the brother of the Nation of Islam, the Bloods and the Crips. It's from generation to generation. If your father was a Crip, there's a good chance your son gonna be a Crip, unless he don't want him to live the same life. But it's like 80 to 90% of the fathers want the son to walk in the same path that they do, or the mom want the daughter to be the same as them. It's only like a small percentage that don't. So yes, racism still exists. No matter how much you watch it on TV and you see people together, guess what, people? That's called acting. They're getting paid to be amongst your ass. Not saying everybody. I know this generation, the millennials, want to be black. Like, most of the millennials think, they want to be black. They like to dress like black people. Let's be honest. They like to talk like black people. You're living in a day and time where this generation, the millennials, call themselves niggas. Because they think they're black. Like they rather be black than white, and that hurts the 50s and 60s and 40s and 1970s generation of white America. That really hurts them because their kids and grandkids love hip hop, love anything that African Americans have to do with, because they grew up in a time when it dominates the radio, when you have black actors dominating a lot on television, sports, and as well as in movies. Now that's why you still have racism to this day. And homophobia. This man has openly, I think, came out and said he was, this was a homophobic, they're saying, beatdown. There's no facts on that, but there are facts that he did get attacked and a rope was around his neck, which means a sign of the KKK. The MAGA hat is a sign of Trump. We all know Trump supports the Klan, and this man is scared because he didn't think something like that would exist. You're not protected in Hollywood by no means because you're gay or you're straight from racism. And this is not just black men. Racism exists towards Asian people, especially towards Hispanic people. They get it just as bad as black people. So it's just not, and to all the white people that's watching this, you guys experience racism also. There are people that, treat you guys in a racist way, saying that you don't like them because you're white, and you be the complete opposite, especially the 80s and 90s babies and 2000 babies, the millennials. That generation is more on a we have overcome type level, but some people never get over racism, and they inject it into their kids. Like I said, this is clearly an act of hate, racism, and some people will never get over it. And this is gonna scare this man probably the rest of his life. He probably won't even do a lot of movies like he used to. It's going to take a lot of counseling, because you don't know, was that set up? Somebody he know, somebody he was dating. This will go on a deep investigation. But let's pray Jussie gets over this. Subscribe.